It was now James' turn to give Kathy the third degree. Kathy, how did you move the Volkswagen the night of the ice storm and the airplane crash? Kathy continued to stare at James with a bewildered look on her face. She finally answered, I don't know how it was done. The only thing I can tell you, it did happen. Did you drive away on the icy road? No, I did not drive away. James began to think Kathy was giving him misleading answers. She must know how she departed the market parking lot. James noticed Kathy had started to tremble, as if something had scared her out of her wits. James continued to press Kathy for answers, especially the strange glow on her face when she passed him on the road the night he was walking up to the gas station. Kathy said she was trying to figure out a way to tell James how most of this was happening. I was warned not to get involved with anyone because it could become a traumatic experience for me. I was chosen because the people I was working for did not want to reveal what the truth was. That is the reason I did what I did to create the ghost story. Otherwise, what I was doing could upset history. Now James was completely confused and began to think Kathy was insane. Kathy continued to tell James some things about herself. She was chosen because of her albino condition, which would make the ghost part real. Kathy took James' hand and held it tight. James could feel her trembling. Kathy slid over as close as she could to James and lay her head on his shoulder. Kathy continued to explain to James about her condition and how she was selected for this job. James repeated the word selected and asked Kathy, selected for what? Then James decided the best thing he could do was to be quiet and let Kathy explain what she was having a difficult time explaining. Kathy sat in her position with her head resting on James' shoulder, and he could feel her start to relax. Kathy began to explain her predicament. My mistake was giving you a ride the night of the ice storm. On my part, it was one of those spur-of-the-moment things. When I passed you as you were walking up the road from the Blue Springs crossroads, I had the strongest urge to reveal myself to you. Now I am trying to keep myself from something that will probably indicate our future. Another mistake I made was trying to scare people. I could not resist, especially the man who was repairing his tire on his trailer at the side of the road down near the crossroads. James had now resigned himself to just listen to Kathy because nothing she was saying made any sense. He continued to listen, to try and explain what she was trying to explain. James, I am living in a time frame of 60 years, and I don't know how they did it. I just know I am in it and can move in and out of it to the exact day and time. I have never had a person who I wanted to come into my life more than you. The time frame of us sitting together in my old Volkswagen behind a junkyard is giving me a feeling I always wanted to experience, and knowing I can discover how it ends before it ends is causing me to lose sleep. That is one of the reasons you see and hear my Volkswagen several times during the night. Although I don't know how they accomplished the ability to travel, I just know I can do it with the push of a button. In just a few minutes, in my time frame, I can discover if you are here or there. When James heard Kathy say this, he knew she was insane and had probably escaped from the funny farm. Then she asked James if he wondered how her face was glowing when she passed him on the Blue Springs Hollow Road. James was so engrossed in listening to Kathy talk, he had almost forgotten some of the strange visual parts of seeing her. But now that she mentioned it, he started to bring that back into the parts of meeting this beautiful albino girl. Now that you mention it, Kathy, although it did not scare me like it did the guy changing the tire, I am now wondering and confused by everything surrounding you. I know you are not a ghost because I can feel you near me and I can feel your heart beating when I touch you. Kathy was now completely relaxed, and she was holding on to James like she never wanted to let go. Then she moved back over to the passenger seat and pulled her purse out from under the seat. I am going to show you something, James, that you will not understand, but you will know what I used to give a glow to my face, and foolish me should not have gotten carried away with doing this to the locals. James could see a bright glow coming from her handbag as she unzipped it. Then she pulled out a slim, flat object with one side of it glowing more than anything that size should be glowing. Kathy pointed the dark side toward James, and the glow of the other side was illuminating Kathy's face. Then a flash bulb flashed. Then Kathy turned the object around where the other side was facing James. He saw the brightest and clearest object of himself he had ever seen. James was speechless as Kathy told him this was called a cell phone in her 60-year time frame.